Hi guys, so today's video is actually going to be the mid-year book freakout tag, but the person answering the questions is not going to be me. I've actually already done this. It's going to be my husband, Sean. For those that don't know, my husband actually reads a lot, but he tends to read quite different things from me, and I know some of you, while you also have similar tastes to me, you maybe are a little bit better about reading outside of just fantasy, and so I thought you would enjoy getting to hear some of Sean's thoughts on some of the books he's read this year.
Hi.
Just normal. Okay, question number 1. Best book you've read so far in 2020? You can't remember, you have to look at your answer.
I think my answers correspond to different questions.
You didn't write them in order?
I thought I did. Well, so what was the question?
The best book.
Oh, okay. Hard choice. I'd say East of Eden by John Steinbeck is probably the best. But also Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison is up there, and American Pastoral by Philip Roth. Those are my top 3.
I think we should also let people know, since the last time people have seen you, you were reading more like crime books and
It's true.
comics and manga, so you've kind of gradually transitioned into...
I've undergone a transformation.
Yeah, into the stereotypical book snob.
Yes. And may I add, East of Eden and Invisible Man were both written in 1952.
Oh,
Fun
really?
fact for you. Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently a good year
Yeah,
for
that's the year for Sean.
books. Yeah, for me.
And we just watched Grapes of Wrath. So you have to read that.
I know. That's true.
My dad had us watch Grapes of Wrath, and for the 4th of July, it was really a big bummer.
It was a big bummer.
It's
I was
a good
like,
movie, though. Question number 2. Best sequel you've read so far in 2020? I think I know the answer.
Yeah, so I don't, as we were saying,
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading more literary. So I don't read a lot of sequels, but I did read Vengeful. That's the sequel, right?
Yeah.
By V.E. Schwab. And I liked it a lot. I liked it more than the first one. And I'll stand by that decision. No matter what anyone says.
How is that? Is it good?
It's pretty good. It's peach. Aha!
Do you like it as much as the other one that you were drinking?
I mean, sparkling water doesn't have a ton of flavor. It's kind of all the same. This has a
Unlike-
slight taste of peach.
Unlike my ice carbonated...
That's true. Ice, those do have like actual flavor. Yeah. How do they do it with 0 calories
Actually,
and 0
5
sugar?
calories
Oh,
now, it says.
that's how they do it.
Question number 3. A new release you haven't read yet, but want to.
Oh, so I am not good at keeping up with new releases, but I did want to read My Dark Vanessa, and shame on me for not knowing the author's name, because I don't know the author's name. I should have looked that up. But I did want to read that, and I don't, I guess, pay attention to what people have said. I remember it being, like, hyped
Now
when
it's
it came
kinda
out.
Controversial, right?
See, I didn't even know that. What I was getting towards was, I don't know how it's been received. I have no idea. So hopefully people aren't like, that book is awful.
Question number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year.
So I do have an answer for this. Don DeLillo
Oh, that's
is coming out with The Silence.
Is he the one that's in his 80s?
Yeah, he's like 84 or 83, something like that. I read White Noise and Underworld recently, and I like them both. So I'm looking forward to... I haven't read any Don DeLillo of the 21st century, though. So I haven't read any of his newer works.
And the trend you've noticed is that a lot of times these authors that you've been picking up in literary, they start off with really long sentences, really beautiful, dense writing.
And then they get less as they get
And
older.
they just have like
Yeah.
sentence fragments.
Well, I was going to say, Underworld's like 800 something pages, and I think The Silence is like going to be 128
So they're
pages.
continuing the
Yeah.
trend.
Yeah, a little shorter.
Question number 5. Biggest disappointment.
Oh, easy. I've been waiting for this moment, and hopefully this doesn't come across too strong, but if you like 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, I don't know why. I don't know why anyone likes that book. I read all 920 something pages of the hardcover, and there was just nothing there that I remotely ended up finding
And
interesting.
you like almost absurdist style
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've read some big
weird
books this year, and this one I was like, for a good 2/3 of it. Actually, no, I start over. The first third, I was like, how intriguing. Where's he going with this? 2/3 in, I'm like, is he going anywhere with this? And the last third is, to me, so repetitive, and the ending is so just not an ending that I found it very frustrating. And I would love to know why anyone likes that book.
I think, for context, you read Gravity's Rainbow.
Yes, I didn't want to like drop that book because I didn't want to be like, I read Gravity's Rainbow. But yeah, I read Gravity's Rainbow, and I enjoyed that
weird.
Like immensely more than 1Q84, which was...
Well, now the next question is biggest surprise.
So biggest surprise, I'd say, is 2666 by Roberto Bolaño, because that was my first really big, weird book. I feel like that got me on this trend of big, weird books.
All right, the next one is favorite new author. It can be debut or new to you.
I have a lot because I feel like I've just been liking a lot of stuff. So Don DeLillo, because I mentioned I like Underworld. I like White Noise actually a bit more than Underworld, but he's on there. Colson Whitehead. I really loved Underground Railroad. And Philip Roth, I haven't really read... I mean, I've read one book by Philip Roth, and I listened to one book by Philip Roth. And the one book I read was American Pastoral, and...
You loved it.
I loved it. I looked just sad for days afterwards. And that's a later question, isn't it? What made you... Sad or cry?
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Well, the next one is newest fictional crush.
I wrote down something funny for this. Excuse me. Ignatius T. Riley from A Confederacy of Dunces. Let's talk about all the great things about Ignatius. One, he's a writer. Okay? He works on his craft. He is working this amazing critique of Western society. He is just a regular guy. He likes hot dogs.
He's living with his mother. And I think it's important.
And he's living with a severe medical issue. Okay. And he just...
I know that I find what you're saying funny, but other people don't know you the way I know you, so I really want to make clear that he's being a troll.
I think he's a great character, but not someone I would...
But his valve, he has issues with
his valve is always closing and clenching. It's disastrous.
Alright, the next one's newest favorite character.
This one is... Like, I'm kind of joking, but I'm also being serious. So, favorite character, I think, is hard for the books I've been reading, and that's not meant to sound annoying, but like, they're not like character driven. So I have to go with Roger Mexico from Gravity's Rainbow, because first of all, what an incredible name is Roger Mexico.
You mean the light bulb isn't your favorite?
No, Byron the Light Bulb's a pretty great character too, but what I like about Roger Mexico is like, there's so many name puns in that book, and then there's Roger Mexico. There's no reason for his name to be Roger Mexico, but it is. And also, he's a man of passion.
Speaking of passion, the next one is a book that made you cry, which we already...
So yeah, so there's a few. Okay, well actually, let me clarify. Nothing I don't think has made me actually cry this year, and I'm just not really a crier when it comes to books. But these are books that made me sad. So we'll go with that. So 2666 made me sad. Yeah. Luckily, the last part is less sad, so that's better. American Pastoral, as I mentioned, made me quite sad. The Chronology of Water made me sad. That's by Lydia Yuknovich, I think, if I'm saying her name right. Invisible Man, quite sad. And Underground Railroad,
also
quite sad.
What about a book that made you happy? Confederacy of Dunces.
It's kind of funny. I forgot. Like, I answered that earlier and then I forgot. So yeah, that's definitely one. The one I wrote down, though, was Swag by Elmer Leonard. I really liked Swag. It's a fun romp about two guys who decide to rob grocery stores.
And then, oh, sorry.
I was going to add and liquor stores. It wasn't really that important.
The next one's most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received.
So I realized I'll just hold them up. So they're similar to the things I mentioned earlier. So this is East of Eden.
We got the used bookstore?
Yeah, it's a used bookstore.
Shout out to Bookman's.
Yes. It's just, I don't know. I like the cover. It's pretty. And then after really liking Invisible Man, I bought this really nice one. So this also has his second novel or a version of his second novel because it was unfinished. So there's actually two versions, but this has another one in there. And then my last one, I haven't read this yet, but it still looks nice. This is the first volume of the Underworld USA trilogy by James Ellroy.
I got you the one for Christmas that matches that.
You did. That's correct. See?
By
James Ellroy.
Oh yeah, the LA Quartet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yay. Last one. What books do you need to read by the end of the year?
So I have...
Our buddy read books.
Yeah.
Except for Sean is not.
Getting way behind.
You need to tell the people what you're not going to read.
Am I not going to read Rage of Dragons?
You tell them.
I don't want to read Rage of Dragons. I don't have a desire to read it. I'm sorry, everyone. So I can see Luna. I have Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, because that will finalize my really large, weird book that I know of right now collection. And then I want to read... What did I write down? I should look at it.
I was wondering what you were looking at there.
I want to read Stamped from the Beginning.
Yeah.
I actually want to read that sooner rather than later. That might be the next thing I read. And I want to read The Executioner Song, because I have a really beat up, kind of gross looking copy that I got for like $4 at Bookman's, and I'd like to read it.
That's it. Those are
That's
all the
it.
questions.
Thanks for watching, and if you like 1Q84, that's amazing. And I'm sorry that I don't want to read Rage of Dragons. And if you've read any of these, let me know, because I like to talk about them. And if you have read Gravity's Rainbow, I would very much like to talk about Gravity's Rainbow, because it's
weird.
It's a weird book.
Thanks, guys. I was about to say I love you, because I'm so used to saying it to you, like, okay, love you, bye. But I don't know you guys. I appreciate
You guys are
your
strangers.
support.